We are Black Fork. We are Arizona.
Saturday night back home in Arizona. It's D-backs baseball. San Francisco Giants back in for the second of this three-game series and the second start in his return from Tommy John surgery for Shelby Miller as the D-backs look to strengthen their NL West lead on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew and Bob Brenly along the way. It's the D-backs and the Giants. The last time Shelby Miller pitched on the mound in this ballpark, April 23rd of last year, when he left the game early with a torn elbow ligament. And tonight, he is back on home turf for the first time following Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, he had his first start of the year in Miami on that last road trip, and he looked like a guy who hadn't pitched for 14 months. He made some really good pitches, struck out 5 Marlins hitters in just 3 2/3, but he also bounced a lot of breaking balls, missed with his fastball. Expect to see better from Shelby here tonight.
Well, we saw Derek Rodriguez in very small doses in spring training. He is the Giants starting pitcher tonight. He is also the son of Hall of Fame catcher Pudge Rodriguez.
Love the hair. 5 starts for the Giants this year, a 2-1 record with a 3.82 ERA, coming off his best outing of the year against the Padres. Went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits and 1 run in that game. A no decision, a 3-2 Giants win.
D-backs and the Giants on the way here on Fox Sports Arizona. D-backs. atmosphere inside the ballpark. Big crowd with us at Chase Field. The D-backs and the Giants, and Shelby Miller takes the mound right after this. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Called strike three. What a start for Shelby Miller.
Bring him up and sit him down. Got him. Shelby Miller. Steve Berthew and Bob Brenly, Kate Longworth with you. Oscar Soria, Rodrigo Lopez, our Spanish language broadcast on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. It's game 2 of this 3-game set. The D-backs and the San Francisco Giants. Giants won the opener 2-1 last night. And here's their lineup for game 2. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Here's how Bruce Bochy will line up the Giants tonight. Alan Hansen once again leading off, playing left field tonight. Buster Posey doing the catching, batting second. Andrew McCutchen will be out in right field. Brandon Belt down at first base. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. Pablo Sandoval at third base. Joe Panik back in the lineup at second base tonight, with Gorkis Hernandez in center field, and right-hander Derek Rodriguez on the mound for the Giants.
27-year-old right-hander Shelby Miller takes the mound for the D-backs. His second start following last May's Tommy John surgery. The line here from his loss at Miami and his return to the mound on Monday.
A little bit deceiving. The 5 runs allowed. 2 of those came after he left the ball game. T.J. McFarland came in the ball game and gave up a double to Brian Anderson that scored 2 of Shelby Miller's runs. So the line a little worse than it really was.
A look around the diamond at the D-backs defense, brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Gerard Dyson getting the start in center field tonight. David Peralta once again in left field. John Jay over in right. It'll be Jake Lamb and Ketel Marte on the left side of the infield tonight, with Daniel Descalso and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate for right-hander Shelby Miller.
Chad Whitson will call the balls and strikes tonight. He's our plate umpire. Adrian Johnson at first base. Trip Gibson at second. And there's the crew chief, Ted Barrett, who's our third base umpire tonight. The Giants come in here 3 over 500. They're only 4.5 games behind the D-backs for the NL West lead. They are very much, Bob, in the division discussion.
And they were very encouraged by the news they've gotten of some of their guys on the disabled list, much like the Diamondbacks waiting for some pieces to come back off that DL. The Giants are in the same boat, and they feel pretty good where they're at in the standings right now. Last year at this time, they were 22.5 games behind the Dodgers.
Yeah, Johnny Cueto 4 scoreless innings for AAA Sacramento last night. Jeff Samardzija pitches for Sacramento Monday, so they're both close to coming back for Bruce Bochy. Alan Hansen, who's in left field tonight, will lead it off for the Giants against Shelby Miller. Hansen started last night at second base. Switch hitter, bats left-handed, 291. He's got 5 homers.
Now Hansen, a little more dangerous hitter tonight from the left side of the plate than he was last night from the right side. A 167 hitter from the right side, 338 from the left. All
5 of those homers coming as a left-hand batter. Here we go. D-backs Giants. Shelby Miller back on the Chase Field mound. There's a fastball for strike 1. We're underway. You can see the numbers as a left-hand batter a whole lot better for Alan Hansen, former Pittsburgh Pirate. Signed a minor league deal with the Giants in January. Breaking ball's in there for strike 2, curveball. Fastball down low. We showed you the numbers for Shelby in that start Monday in Miami. 85 pitches through 3 2/3. He said he felt really good most of the game, which was really all about getting his feet wet. So you're looking for progress here tonight. Always, I'm sure, good to have the first one out of the way. Jammed him, popped it up, foul ground, third base side. Murphy's got it.
Well, as we mentioned, that first start down in Florida, he showed flashes of what we've seen from Shelby Miller in the past, and at other times he looked like a guy that was struggling to find the strike zone. It just unable to repeat his delivery consistently in that Miami start. Hopefully a little better here tonight.
He's certainly up. No offense to the Marlins, the quality of the competition is raised as well, with Posey, McCutchen, Bell, Crawford all in the lineup. Joe Panik. Buster bats second behind the plate tonight. Fastball down and away, just missed. Posey singled, scored the Giants' first run last night. He was 1 for 4. Punches that one through into right field, a 1-out single.
I mean, that fastball's on the inside corner of the plate. If you've got Buster Posey taking an inside out swing to hit a single to right field, you'll take that.
Andrew McCutchen 0 for 4 last night, 261 on the year. He's got 8 home runs. D-backs will overload the left-hand side of the infield.
Yeah, both managers tonight going with what you would have to consider their best hitters in the 2 spot. Buster Posey for the Giants, Paul Goldschmidt for the Diamondbacks. That's becoming more and more of a thing. We've talked about it that the people that grind the analytics say that that's where your best hitter should hit, in that 2 spot, and we're seeing it all around baseball. Mike Trout, Aaron Judge. I mean, Chris Bryant sometimes hits leadoff for the Cubs, but he finds himself in the 2 hole an awful lot.
Well, forever it was just assumed that the best hitter in your lineup should bat third. But that's some of the influence of sabermetrics and analytics. There's all kinds of math that backs that up.
Joey Votto, another guy. Rhys Hoskins from the Phillies has been hitting out of the 2 spot.
Well, Goldie bats second against right-handers for Torey Lovullo. He'll drop him back down to third against lefties to sort of give the middle of that lineup some bulk against left-handers. 1-1 on McCutchen. Breaking ball hung up there. He left that curveball in a bad spot to a good hitter. Got away with it. It's 1-2. That was where they were hoping to see for Shelby the biggest step forward tonight. That breaking ball command. Try and command those secondary pitches a little more consistently than he did Monday against the Marlins. .97 down and away, and Chad Whitson rings up McCutchen a little bit off the plate for the borderline strike. 2 down.
And this is a little bit what we saw from Shelby in Miami. He missed badly with one pitch, come right back and dot the next one on the outside corner, knock a hitter down with a pitch inside, come right back at the knees on the outside corner for a called strike.
Shift is on for Brandon Belt, batting cleanup tonight. This is low with a fastball. Belt 292. He leads the Giants both in home runs and runs batted in. Here's a look at the overshift on the right hand side. Belt has seen plenty of Shelby Miller before. Seen might be kind. He's got one hit against him. That was a home run back in May of 2015. So he's seen him. He just hasn't seen him all that well.
He's been in the batter's box while Shelby was on the mound.
Bounces this one into the shift. Descalso. Good start for Shelby. D-backs coming up. It's rookie right-hander Derek Rodriguez, who just turned 26 years old earlier this month. Only 6 career big league appearances after beginning his pro career as an outfielder. He is the son of Hall of Fame catcher Pudge Rodriguez.
He'll work his fastball up in the zone with a four-seamer. He'll occasionally cut a fastball, sink a fastball. His best off-speed pitch is a big breaking curveball. Also throws a slider and a change. Has a full complement. He's reported to be a really good athlete. As you mentioned, was an outfielder before he made his way to the mound.
John Jay leads it off. His dad was considered maybe the greatest throwing catcher of all time. Here's the numbers on Jay. 291. He's homered twice. And Rodriguez, as a lower level minor league outfielder, struggled to hit but had a pretty good arm, and somebody eventually said, well, let's get him on the mound, and here he is in the big leagues. Hard to second, right to Joe Panic. D-backs lineup presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
John Jay will be out in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Jake Lamb across the diamond at third. David Peralta will be out in left field. Daniel Descalso at second base. Ketel Marte at shortstop, with John Ryan Murphy doing the catching. Gerard Dyson in center field, and right-hander Shelby Miller making his second start of the season.
As we mentioned, Goldie batting second against the right-hander. Singled and walked last night. Giants put 3 infielders on the left side. There's a strike. Goldie 268 with 17 home runs. This is out to McCutchen in right field. 2 down. E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look at the Giants defense.
Well, we know Andrew McCutcheon is out in right field. Gorky Hernandez in center tonight. Alan Hansen moves out to left field. It'll be Pablo Sandoval and Brandon Crawford on the left side of the infield. Joe Panik and Brandon Belt on the right side. Buster Posey behind the plate for the righty Derek Rodriguez.
Jake Lamb bats third. Giants will leave the shift on. Same one they had on for Jay. Jake batting .243, 6 home runs. Singled and had an RBI last night. Drove in the D-backs' only run. Got a high fastball. Swing and a miss. Foul tip. Posey hangs on 0-2. Now Sandoval will move over in front of second base umpire Trip Gibson. And Crawford slides over to the shortstop spot. Another fastball up to Jake Lamb. Bob, time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, last night the Diamondbacks banged out 7 hits. 5 of them didn't leave the infield. So for tonight we're going to go for the outfield and beyond.
Infinity and beyond. We'll settle for outfield. Oh, Rodriguez thought he had him. It was a little too far off the plate for Chad Whitson. And it's 1-2 on Lamb. Rodriguez has shown some encouraging life on his fastball. He can get some swinging strikes with it. And he's been able to pitch up, down, moves the ball both sides of the plate. Fastball has been his best chase pitch. He can get some swings and misses with it, even when it's out of the strike zone. This with a changeup up and away. Lamb's worked at full 3-2. You saw Peralta on deck. That's trying to reach the seats. Out of play. Rodriguez has been a strike thrower for a guy who has not pitched very long. Remember, he's a converted outfielder. He seems to have pretty good command. He's only got 7 walks and 6 appearances so far.
And another thing the Giants really like about Rodriguez is his mound presence, his heart, his guts, whatever you want to call it. They got into it with the Marlins a little bit. Lewis Brinson did some things that upset the Giants, and with runners at second and third, Rodriguez drilled Lewis Brinson, put him on base to load him up, and then pitched out of the inning.
That's impressive for a youngster. He loses Lamb. A chance for Peralta. David at .277 with 15 home runs. Peralta singled in the game last night, 1 for 4. Giants do not shift for Peralta. Oftentimes we'll see other teams, at least with their outfielders, kind of shade over the other way against David, who likes to go to left center so often, but the Giants don't really do that here.
Yeah, Gorky Hernandez just a couple of steps over toward the gap in left center field, but not much off of straightaway.
Changeup. 1-1. You can see with runners on base, David's almost a .340 hitter this year, so he really rises to the occasion. Posey wanted it up. Rodriguez misses in. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tell you, when Jeff Samardzija comes back off the disabled list, either Rodriguez or Samardzija is going to have to get a haircut. You can't really tell them apart from a distance.
It looks like Corey Guerin, actually. David shoots that down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Hansen cuts it off.
They're going to stop Jake Lamb at third, and he overran the bag. A late stop sign by Tony Perez-Chica, and Lamb is hung up.
We'll head to the second, no score, D-backs and Giants.
Notice here, Tony Perez-Chica was waving Jake Lamb, but then he threw up the stop sign when he saw that throw come all the way into the bag at third. But if he stopped it just a hair before that, when Tony Perez-Chica put up the stop sign, Pablo Sandoval was blocking his vision. Jake is probably looking down to find the bag to make sure he hits it before he turns the corner toward home plate. Just one of those things that happen occasionally on the field, and unfortunately Jake's out in no man's land. Not to mention the throw came all the way into third base. Generally that throw would go to a cutoff man, and that would have given Jake an opportunity to get back to the base at third, but the throw came all the way into the bag.
So we're still scoreless. Brandon Crawford, the shortstop, leads off the second. That one's fouled back. First pitch curveball from Shelby Miller. Crawford, 313 and 9 homers. He has been baseball's hottest hitter the last 2 months of the year. D-backs have the shift on. You saw that shot of Hansen going over to cut the ball off, and then it looked like he kicked it. And I think that's where Tony probably thought he could get Lamb home on that play. Hansen was at second base last night, in left field tonight. Watch him sort of try to cut it off before it gets to the bullpen. You'll see him kick the ball off the glove.
Yeah, off the glove, and then kicks it off the wall, but got a fortuitous bounce right back to him. And as I mentioned, his throw came all the way into the bag at third, and Jake was out in no man's land.
Well, Shelby ahead of Crawford, 1-2. Crawford singled, walked, and scored a run last night. Fastball right there at 95. Shelby's fastball, very good velocity against the Marlins this week, consistently 94 to 96. Here comes a breaking ball. Murphy wants it down. Crawford lifts it up to deep right center field. And it's in the pool. Brandon Crawford is 10th, and it's 1-0 Giants.
Looked like a pretty good pitch to anybody other than Brandon Crawford. A curveball that ends up in that down and in spot right there, just off the inside corner. That is his happy zone. Barrels that one up to the Ram Trucks pool in right center. Put the Giants on the board. Incoming.
Here's the Panda. Fastball's a strike. Sandoval hitting .264. He's got 6 home runs this year. Remember, in his first start back against the Marlins Monday, Shelby gave up a home run to Miami's Justin Bour in the first inning. And here tonight it's Crawford with a solo homer in the second.
You mentioned it looked like a pretty good pitch. It reminded me of Frank Robinson's story. Bill Lasky, one of my teammates with the Giants back in the day, threw a pitch down and in, was hit out of the ballpark, and when the pitcher came back to the dugout, Frank said, "What was that pitch?" And Bill Lasky said, "It was a good pitch, down and in." Without missing a beat, Frank said, "Good pitches don't travel that far."
Well, that one was off the bat at 102 miles an hour. Shelby ahead of Sandoval 1-2. Fastball sails on him a bit. Shelby's fastball last start against Miami had a lot of run to it, darting toward his arm side, which may have made it a little more difficult to control. That fastball moves. Upstairs, Sandoval chases, second strikeout for Shelby.
Shelby might be frustrated with the location, but that's actually a really good pitch to the Panda. If it gets up there in the air, he's liable to swing at it, and he saw that one big up there in his eyes and just couldn't lay off.
Joe Panik back in the lineup after a night off last night. He's been slumping, 249 and 3 home runs. Panik got the night off against the lefty Patrick Corbin last night. Let's drop that curveball right on that corner, down and away. That cutter breaking in from the right-hand pitcher toward the left-hand batter, and it's 1-2. Good fastball right there at 95. Panik is scuffling a bit. He's hitting .184 in his last 21 games, nearly all of them starts. His bat has kind of disappeared here in June. He missed all of May after left thumb surgery. So it's been a sluggish start to the year for the Giants second baseman. Tried to backdoor the cutter but missed away, and it's 2-2. Gorky Hernandez, the center fielder, on deck. Goldie's got it at first. 2 outs.
Don't miss the D-backs Cardinals 3-game series right here at Chase Field starting on Monday, and stick around after the game on Wednesday, the 4th of July, for the best fireworks show in town, presented by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. Visit dbacks.com.
Got a big crowd here tonight, Saturday night. Shelby Miller on the mound, D-backs and Giants. The second game of a long 10-game homestand. Been a good year for Gorky Hernandez, 283 and 10 home runs.
We talked about it last night. Bruce Bochy admittedly some of the Giants are having better statistical years, but he said Gorky Hernandez has been my MVP in the first half of the season. He's done everything we've asked him to do. He's hit a lot better than I think anybody expected. Always plays good defense no matter where you put him on the field.
He's a really good defensive outfielder. But as you mentioned, the bat, there's a good fastball, has really come around. He's last 10 games, Hernandez got 4 doubles. He's homered 3 times and knocked in 10 runs. It's a pretty good week and a half.
You know, especially with Hunter Pence struggling the way he is. Mac Williamson on and off the disabled list a couple times.
Yeah, they haven't gotten much from Austin Jackson. And there's the numbers for Gorkys Hernandez last 10 games. He flied out in his only at bat last night. A pinch hitter in the 7th inning. Shelby trying to put him away here on 1-2. This is down low. The pitcher Derek Rodriguez on deck. Giants playing really well lately. They've won 8 of their last 10, including last night's series opener. Their pitching as of late, both in the rotation and the bullpen, has been pretty good. They're really settling in. They've had guys like Rodriguez step up. Andrew Suarez certainly looked good last night. He's a good looking young lefty.
Yeah, good looking lefty. I think we're going to have to deal with him for years in the National League West.
And they're about to get Cueto and Samardzija back sometime in the next 2 weeks or so. They're still without Evan Longoria, who's out with a broken hand. Full count, 3-2. Bounced in the hole. Backhanded by Marte. Long throw. And they can't get Hernandez, who runs well.
It was going to be a miraculous play if Ketel Marte was able to get that ball across the diamond in time to get Hernandez. As you mentioned, he gets down the line well, and that is a tough play. All your momentum carrying you toward that third base foul line, throw back across your body. Nice effort.
So here is Derek Rodriguez. He really never did hit much as a young minor league outfielder in the Twins system. They're the ones that converted him into a pitcher. He does have a double this year. Misses a low fastball.
6 strikeouts in his 9 at bats.
He's from Miami Gardens, Florida. Grew up in the Florida area near Miami, where his dad won a World Series ring with the Marlins. This is a young guy who grew up in big league clubhouses with a Hall of Fame father. Coming out of high school, was a 6th round pick by the Twins in 2011. Became a minor league free agent over the winter and signed with the Giants. This has got a chance to stay playable. Goldie in foul ground, and he runs out of room. Look out.
Well, we mentioned for Shelby Miller that start down in Miami, threw 85 pitches in 3 2/3 and racking up some high pitch totals here in the first couple innings. He's already up to 40.
And working in a 30 pitch second after a pretty good first inning. He's had to work hard to get Sandoval. Panic. Hernandez singled on a 3-2 pitch. Now he's ahead of Rodriguez 0-2. Swing and a miss at the curveball. D-backs trail it 1-0.
Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
We're back at Chase Field. D-backs trail the Giants 1-0. 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite D-backs are there. Vote at dbacks.com/vote. And watch the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th live on Fox. Daniel Descalso, the second baseman tonight, leads off the home half of the second against rookie Derek Rodriguez. Giants overload the right-hand side of the infield. Descalso hitting .259. He's got 9 home runs. Ooh, big slow curveball off the plate, but it's 1-2. Daniel has really hit well at Chase Field this year. He's over .320 at home and barely .200 on the road. So it's good that we got a long homestand here. That fastball sailed on Rodriguez, and it's 2-2. Ketel Marte on deck. Dodgers have already lost. Rockies beat them 3-1 in LA. Padres hosting the Pirates. They're just underway at Petco Park. Giants are hanging in. They're getting pitching from some surprising sources. Rodriguez is one of them. He's had a very promising first full month in the majors. Beat the Phillies June 3rd, his first big league victory in that first ever start. 1 run allowed in 6 innings. He beat Jake Arrieta that outing. Foul tip. Posey hangs on, and Rodriguez has his first strikeout. Washington knocked him out of a game in the 3rd inning after he beat the Phillies, but he's pitched well twice against Miami. And in his previous start last Sunday against the Padres, Rodriguez gave up just 1 run, 4 hits. He went 7 innings.
I wonder when Derek Rodriguez made the transition from outfield to pitcher, if his dad ever warmed him up in the backyard or out in the driveway after catching 2,427 major league games. Yeah, it's a little more than just playing catch with your son.
A Hall of Fame backstop back there.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, can you put the gear on and warm me up a little bit?
Big slow curveball. Marte bites, and it's 0-2. Yeah, Rodriguez, when he was an outfielder, never got past rookie ball in the Minnesota system. For 3 years he struggled to hit, but he had a really good throwing arm just like his dad, and so he was converted into a pitcher. Marte knocks that into left center field. He's digging for second. To throw from Hernandez is in time. They got him. And Ketel says no, let's go to the videotape. I mentioned Gorkys Hernandez doing a good job defensively. He got over there pretty quick.
That's a play that's right in front of Ketel Marte. After he turns the corner at first base, he should be able to read that throw back into the infield. Yeah, he's saying that Joe Panik missed the tag. He kind of did that swim move with the right hand, pulled it back out of the way, and when Panik went to swipe tag, I'm not so sure he got him at all.
You can see where Trip Gibson is. He's behind Ketel almost, so he may have been screened on the call. They're not going to challenge. So the D-backs in the first 2 innings have made an out at third and an out at second. Good throw by Hernandez from deep left center.
You know, it's hard to fault Ketel Marte for trying to go for 2 right there. You want to get into scoring position if you can at all possible, and you've got the center fielder and the left fielder moving into the gap. Whoever gets to that ball is going to be moving when they get to it. Might not make an accurate throw, but Gorkys Hernandez put it right on the money.
John Ryan Murphy John Ryan's got 9 homers this year. He's batting .250. Shelby had Jeff Mathis behind the plate Monday in Miami. Tonight it's Murphy. Mathis caught last night. Fastball fouled away, 1-1. How did you play catch with Michael Brenly? A couple of catchers. You got to have somebody throw. You both crouch down facing each other. How does that work?
I mean, you know, you just play catch just like normal people play catch. You stand up. But back in the day, he did pitch a little bit in high school.
Oh,
and
right.
I sat on a bucket.
Those knees just aren't the same. There's a cutter. It's 2-2. Gerard Dyson would be next. He's had good luck with that slow curveball. Crawford long throw, and Murphy beats it out. It gets away from Bell. John Ryan will head to second, and he's in there.
They're going to give John Ryan Murphy an infield hit and rule this an E6 on Brandon Crawford, allowing him to advance on to second base here with 2 outs in the inning. Boy, John Ryan Murphy has deceptive speed. He gets down that line. Every play at first base is close when he hits a ground ball to the infield.
Well, he's got catcher speed, so
He's got better than catcher speed.
wow.
He hasn't caught enough yet.
So he's in scoring position. 2 down for Dyson, who's hitting .183 with 2 home runs. Dyson sits safely in 5 of his last 6 games. He's been pretty productive lately. High in the air, backs up Hernandez in center, but he's got room. We'll head to the third. D-backs trail the Giants 1-0.
For my teammates, for myself, and everybody involved, it's going to be a big day in Phoenix. You know, for me, I'll have some people here rooting me on, and it'll be a fun outing.
Shelby very candid with me that much like the fans, he demands more of his performances here with Arizona over the past 3 years in a D-backs uniform. He's 5-15 with a 5.97 ERA. And he hopes that tonight, it's still a close game, that things can change for the better for Shelby. He said coming back while Arizona's playing good baseball has eased the pressure out on the mound. But he also likes that his first matchup at home is a division rival. He said going up against the Giants like this brings an extra intensity to his game. He said he's always amped up for division rivals. So guys, we'll see how this one plays out.
Okay, here's Alan Hansen trying to bunt his way on, backhanded by Lamb. And a really nice play by Jake to get the speedy Hansen at first. He's really made some nice plays already in this series, Bob.
Yeah, he's been in a real nice rhythm down there defensively, getting to balls quickly, unloading quickly. That time gets the speedy Hansen by about a half a step at first base. Nicely done.
More on Kate's point as Buster Posey steps up. It would be hard to find a bigger contrast in environments than Shelby has had. Monday or in Miami in front of maybe 1,000 people, regardless of what the numbers say, and then you're here on your home turf against a division opponent in a packed ballpark on a Saturday night.
And he brought up a good point, coming back to a team that's been playing well. That's a lot of pressure when you're coming back off the disabled list and your team is struggling or your pitchers aren't doing well. Well, you're the savior. We need you to come back and pitch well. Well, when the team's playing well, they just want you to come back and do what you can do.
Well, Posey knocks that one down the right field line. Jay has it. And it's a long single for Buster, who's 2 for 2. That's twice he's gone the other way against Shelby.
First base hit to right field was on a fastball in. This one on a fastball inside corner. Murphy was set up outside, but the pitch strayed back on the inside part of the plate, and Buster once again with that inside out swing gets a knock the other way.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Slater, who had a pair of RBI doubles down the line in last night's game for both Giant runs. Here's McCutchen, who struck out looking in the first. Shelby really mixing in his cut fastball along with the four-seamer and the curveball. Mentioned Shelby's desire to give the fans what they're looking for. He's got a very high pedigree, 19th overall pick in the '09 draft by the Cardinals out of high school in Brownwood, Texas. He was a 22-year-old rookie with St. Louis. He won 15 games in 2013 and was traded to Atlanta, was an all-star with the Braves in 2015 and picked up by the D-backs after that season. Curveball down, it's 2-1.
Well, we see the pull shift for Andrew McCutchen, and this is why. 32% of the balls he hits on the ground are right down the third base line, 36% to pretty much a straight up shortstop position, 16% up the middle, and that's where the Diamondbacks have their 3 infield defenders.
That's why they're there. There's always data that backs it up. Not a bad fastball, a little low, and it's 3-1. Brandon Belt grounded out to end the first on deck. Trying to avoid another long inning for Shelby, who labored through the second. That one, nobody's there. He goes the other way, away from the spray chart. Couple of one-out singles. They will occasionally hit it to the other side.
Unfortunately, yeah. Shelby jumps ahead with a cutter, misses with a couple of curveballs down in the zone or down below the zone. Fastball just missed right there. That's the one he wanted, that pitch on the outside corner, because then he has to come back in the strike zone with another fastball, and McCutchen guides it back up the middle of the field.
Nationwide vision eye on the game. If there's no shift there, that might have been a double play ball. Now they'll put the shift back on for Brandon Belt. They overload the right hand side. Belt grounded out into it his first time up. Posey at second, McCutchen at first, 1 out. Giants lead 1-0 on a Brandon Crawford homer in the second, his 10th of the year. Shelby at 50 pitches, 33 for strikes. And Belt punches one the other way. They're going to stop Posey at third, and the bases are full of Giants. And here comes Crawford, who homered his last time up.
Shelby in this inning getting beat on fastballs. Buster Posey inside out and one to right field. McCutchen took one back up the middle, and now Brandon Belt goes the other way on a fastball down.
It's going to bring Mike Butcher out to the mound. 3 consecutive one-out singles for the Giants have loaded the bases for Crawford.
The day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Well, this is the last guy you want up in this situation. Brandon Crawford at the end of April was hitting under 190 for the year, but since May the 1st he's batting .372. That's the highest batting average in baseball over that span, and he's already homered once tonight.
2 for 5 on the season with the bases loaded is Brandon Crawford.
1 out. You got Posey at third, McCutchen at second, and Belt at first. They'll put the shift on for Crawford, so with the exception of Lamb near the third base bag, left-hand side is fairly open, although now Marte is sliding back over to his more traditional spot. Remember, in his first at bat, Shelby threw a curveball down and in, and Crawford got it. His 10th of the year. Cutter misses, and it's 2-0. Crawford 2 for 5, as Bob mentioned, with the bases full this year. He's got 3 grand slams in his career. Shelby needs to make a pitch behind in the count. 2-0. Spike to fastball. Posey, McCutchen, Belt third to first. And he walked in a run. Second RBI tonight for Brandon Crawford.
The inconsistent command that we talked about in that start down in Miami has reared its ugly head again here today. Just not really hitting his spots. Even when he's thrown strikes, he's missed from one side of the plate to the other.
Sandoval struck out his first time up, chased a high fastball.
Well, the Giants, with the bases loaded this year, they've been deadly. A .317 team batting average, best in the National League. They've also drawn 9 walks with the bases loaded.
They have managed to tread water while they've been without some of their key players. Up the middle and into center. McCutchen scores. They're waving Belt. Crawford in at third. And the Giants have a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like they had a play on Brandon Crawford there at third base. Unfortunately, Gerard Dyson's throw hit him in the back as he was making his way into third base. Just a little two-hopper right up the middle of the field. just past Ketel Marte on into center, and you'll see Dyson throw on the move here to third base. The throw was going to beat Crawford to the bag, unfortunately hit him in the back. Giants tack on 2 more.
Still only 1 out. Well, John Ryan Murphy walking over to the D-back dugout as Joe Panik steps up. John Ryan checking in with Ryan DePanfilo, the trainer.
He took that foul tip off the mask and really played it off well. The home plate umpire Chad Whitson was asking him if he needed some more time, and Murphy just continued to play on. I'm not sure, could be an equipment malfunction. Hopefully that's all it is. Ouch. Yeah, that was a foul ball earlier in the at bat. As I said, Murphy just played it off, asked for a new ball from the home plate umpire, wanted to just play on.
Now, Torey Lovullo is coming out to check in with Chad Whitson, the plate umpire, to tell him exactly what's happening.
I'm guessing it was an equipment malfunction. Maybe that foul tip loosened one of the straps on the mask. Maybe bent one of the bars on the mask. That happens from time to time.
Unfortunately, looks like John Ryan is okay physically. So here's Panik now with Crawford at third, Sandoval at first, and 3 runs in, still only 1 out. This is driven deep to center field. Dyson backing up. He's under the home run porch. He's got it. Here comes Crawford, and it's 5-0 San Francisco. Ortiz Hernandez now.
Well, it looked like Dyson just had enough room underneath that home run porch.
Shelby got 1 out on 1 pitch against Hansen to start this inning. That nice play by Jake Lamb. He's thrown 17 pitches since, and it continues as Hernandez knocks it into left center. Sandoval stops at second. And the Giants will send the 9th man up to the plate here in the 3rd, the pitcher Rodriguez.
And some loud contact in this inning when Shelby's come into that strike zone. The Giants have been ready to pounce upon it.
.60 pitches, 39 strikes. Trying to get out of this 3rd. Giants have scored 4 times. Here's the pitcher Rodriguez, who struck out his first time up. Oh, 2. This one's starting to look like Monday for Shelby, as Bob mentioned. 85 pitches in 3 2/3 at Miami Monday. He's on something of a similar pace right here. High chopper to third. Lamb avoids Sandoval and throws him out. Giants get 4. D-backs trail at 5-0.
and for wildland firefighters across the country. It was 5 years ago today that the Yarnell Hill fire took the lives of 19 members of the Granite Mountain Hotshots. A state park memorial honoring their sacrifice opened in November 2016 by Governor Doug Ducey, who earlier today wrote, "Our hearts are with the families, fellow firefighters, and the community of Yarnell on this solemn anniversary." And guys, Chase Field was a public place to honor those men in the aftermath of the tragedy. And again tonight, there was a moment of silence before the game. A tough, tough day.
There's Shelby Miller. I'll never forget Bob and I doing a game shortly after that when the 50-50 jackpot. Everybody pitched in to get it over $100,000. That was one of our proudest moments, I think, here in the Diamondbacks 20 years.
It was great to see the community coming together. I mean, I remember that when it happened, it was hard to process, you know, the loss of life and the sadness, and our bravest citizens who put their lives on the line to protect all of us. But it was a community event, though, coming back here, and it was, I think, in many ways therapeutic. Certainly we feel for those families and still do today.
1-2 on Shelby Miller. It was a rare opportunity, that game where the 50-50 got up to all that money, to see literally in front of your eyes an entire community come together like that and pitch in.
Yeah, it was a very emotional day. I had a lot of the friends and family of the firefighters here at the ballpark that day. Players came out of the dugout and you know, as best you can, try to console those people and hope they can take their minds off the terrible tragedy just for a couple hours to watch a ball game.
Well, Derek Rodriguez, the rookie, now pitching with a 5-0 lead in the third. Full count on Shelby Miller, 3-2. Broken bat, roller to third. Sandoval cleans it up.
Fans reacting. Shelby Miller wasn't exactly busting it down that first baseline. Not uncommon to see a starting pitcher, if you hit a ground ball right at a defender, just, you know, run down to first base in case there's a bad throw or something. But some of the fans apparently did not appreciate Shelby's effort that time.
John Jay grounded out to lead off the ball game for the D-backs. John Jay right now is stuck in an 0 for 23 slide. He's had a tough week here. And that's going to continue right to Panic at second. Tell you what, Rodriguez having a lot of luck with that slow curveball.
Yeah, man, we were told that's his best off-speed pitch, the one he can throw for strikes most consistently, the one he can throw down in the zone and get ground balls from time to time, or swings and misses. And for John Jay, when you find yourself in the midst of one of these slumps, it seems like there's 100 defenders out there on the infield. Every time you hit the ball, it's right at somebody.
Goldie flying out to right his first time. Well, this is the end of June, and this should be the National League Player of the Month. I know he won't care, but it's always nice to get some accolades for the franchise along the way, and he certainly deserves it, considering he's hit about 380 in June with 10 home runs. Put up some tremendous numbers. There's that slow curveball. I mean, this is Player of the Month type stuff. But down 0-2. Up the middle, but the shift is on. Panic from the shortstop spot. And there's your shutdown inning. 3 ground ball outs for Rodriguez. D-backs trailing 5-0.
Ability of Paul Goldschmidt winning the Player of the Month for the month of June. Well, back in 2001, Luis Gonzalez hit .417 with 12 bombs. He drove in 35. He was always one of my favorites, but he was especially one of my favorites in June of 2001.
Gonzo is with us on the last road trip, filling in for Tom Candiotti on the radio side. Alan Hansen, who led off the third, leads off the fourth against Shelby Miller. Shift is on. And you got a scouting report on young Jacob Gonzalez today from some of the Giants folks.
Yeah, I went down and talked to Bruce Bochy before the ball game, and yeah, I just mentioned that Gonzo, was on the last road trip with us, and I asked, "How's Jacob doing?" He said, "Let me tell you, that boy is legit."
Wow, how about that, huh?
That's pretty high praise. Yeah, he said every time somebody called about a trade, Jacob Gonzalez was one of the first prospect names that would come up, going from the Giants somewhere else.
Jacob playing in the lower levels of the Giant system in Augusta, Georgia. The Augusta Green Jackets, drafted by the Giants in the second round last year.
I saw Gonzo on that last road trip. He's got the MILB Minor League Baseball website pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the games are televised, some are just on the game tracker, which is just mind-numbing for a parent to watch that.
You've been through that once or twice. This will back up Dyson in center. Yeah, Gonzo spent the entire road trip with a little earplug in his ear, listening to Augusta Green Jackets baseball on some minor league phone app, trying to follow Jacob's at bats.
Yeah, I know a lot of Diamondbacks fans follow the games on Game Tracker or Game Day on the MLB website, and you know what I'm talking about. First pitch strike, second pitch ball, third pitch in play, no outs, and then you have to wait till they tell you what it was.
Yeah, some of the media facilities in the Sally League and places like that aren't quite up to snuff.
I've told the story in the past going up to Boise, Idaho, when my son Michael played up there with the Cubs in rookie ball. They had a gentleman, Boise trying to go the other way again. He had a van, not down by the river, it was down by the ballpark, and had all the equipment inside the van. And there were 3 locked off cameras, a high home camera, a center field camera, and one on the first base side. And he controlled them all from the back of his van, so at least you could follow the game that way.
It's like network coverage at some of these places. A guy with a van. Yeah, but it's great to hear that Jacob's doing so well his first full season as a pro. Shelby at 70 pitches, 47 for strikes. One out here in the fourth. Just lost the handle on a cut fastball, and it's 2-2 on Posey. Fastball's low. Little tapper to shortstop for Ketel Marte. They retire Posey for the first time tonight. 2 outs in the fourth. McCutcheon singled and scored in that 4-run Giant third. D-backs put 3 defenders on the third base side of the infield. Descalso, the second baseman, just over on the shortstop side of the bag. Dyson maybe a step or 2 over toward the pool in right center field. And that's where McCutcheon hits it, headed toward the pool. And it's in the stands. Andrew McCutcheon. That's his 9th of the year. And the Giants have taken a 6-0 lead.
Cutter that just stayed right there in the middle of the plate for Andrew McCutcheon. More loud contact. That ball was hit a long way to right field.
Well, you know he wants to do well so badly it's killing him. Brandon Belt singled and scored in the third. Just foul down the first base line. So Crawford a solo shot in the second. McCutchen a solo homer in the fourth. Sandwiched around a 4-run third inning. And Shelby and the D-backs are down 6-zip.
Boy, after the first time through the lineup, the Giants have been hyper aggressive against Shelby Miller, mainly because he's thrown a lot of pitches like that. The ones I call non-competitive pitches are out of the strike zone the moment they leave his hand. Hitters don't even think about swinging at him. But if you throw anything close to that strike zone, they are ready to let it fly.
Well, he had a very encouraging start in the first inning. Did a nice job bouncing back from the Crawford homer to lead off the second. Got out of that, but since the first out of the third, it has been a struggle, and the momentum is kind of rolling over him right now. They're ahead of Belt 1-2.
Might help to get a call on a pitch in the strike zone there, Chad Whitson.
Yeah, there's Crawford, who has homered and walked with the bases full. 2-2. And there's the final out. Giants add one more. They lead it 6-0.
And hey fans, you can participate in the D-backs 50-50 charity raffle presented by the Arizona Lottery from home, along with the fans right here at Chase Field. This is your chance to win half of the pot and help kids in our community. Tickets can be purchased online during every D-backs home game televised on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/50-50 raffle. The winning number will be revealed in tonight's post-game show, so stay tuned to see if you've won.
Well, time to get the offense going. D-backs have been out hit 9-3. They trail at 6-0. Here's Jake Land. Jake walked his first time up. He's got an 8-game hit streak coming into tonight. Giants have the shift on against the left-hand batter. Fastball's there, 2-2. Lamb, Peralta, Descalso due up 3, 4, and 5 here in the D-back fourth. Fights off a fastball to stay alive. D-backs, for the moment, are 4 games ahead of the Dodgers atop the NL West. LA lost at home to the Rockies today. 3-1 the final there. Fastball is in, but Chad Whitson rings up Lamb.
Every night.
I mean, that's just a good job of hitting by Jake Lamb. Borderline fastball in off the plate. He didn't offer at it. Took it like he's supposed to, and
gets penalized.
yeah, c'est la vie. Here's Peralta. David doubled to left field his first time up.
A D-backs home run today means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Padres have taken a 2-0 lead on Pittsburgh at Petco Park. They're in the 5th. San Diego is in here next weekend. 4-game series against the Padres starts on Thursday. That's belted down the line, and that's a fair ball. The freight train's on the tracks. It's a stand-up double for Peralta, 2 for 2.
Fastball on that inside corner of the plate, just below the belt. David tomahawks it down into the gap, or down into the corner rather, in right field. Had thoughts about going for 3, but trailing by 6 runs early in the ball game, don't want to make any outs at third base, so he wisely holds up right there in scoring position for Daniel Descalso.
Well, Peralta's another guy that has had a monster month of June. Descalso struck out his first time up.
Well, you don't have to get all 6 back at once. Just take them where they fall. Right now, an opportunity to get on the board if Daniel Descalso or Ketel Marte can find a way to drive home David Peralta. Get on the board and work from there.
Still got plenty of time. Only the bottom of the 4th. Couldn't check at a high fastball, and it's 0-2. Posey wants a mound visit. Descalso's been a productive bat this month. Big part of the D-backs' impressive June. He's got 18 RBIs in 22 games this month. Up in an RBI spot right here. Fastball, swing and a miss.
We were told that Derek Rodriguez likes that fastball. He starts, Daniel, with a changeup down low in the zone. Then a 94-mile-an-hour fastball gets a check swing. Just threw one way out of the zone right there and comes right back with another fastball at the top of the zone.
It's funny. Most guys, you get swings and misses on a slider or a changeup. With Rodriguez, it's his fastball. Ketel Marte. Marte singled his first time up. He doubled and scored in last night's game, so he's hit safely in 4 straight now. Trying to get Peralta home from second with 2 outs. Rodriguez at 60 pitches, 42 for strikes. He's walked 1, struck out 3. A floater Bell tackles it. Rodriguez hustles over there. And they just do get Ketel Marte. So Rodriguez strands that one out double. We'll head to the fifth. D-backs with some work to do here. They trail it 6-0.
When you use the card by Gila River Casino, sign up for the card today.
Brandon Crawford leads off the fifth against Shelby Miller. It's been a rough night for Shelby. 80 pitches through 4 innings. Crawford has homered. He's walked with the bases full. Bullpen starts to get busy. TJ McFarland in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. TJ got the final 2 outs of the ball game last night in the 9th inning. There's an extra arm back there. I don't know if Jimmy Sherfy is here yet or not. Devin Marrero was placed on a DL before the game today with a left oblique problem. Suffered in batting practice yesterday, so Sherfy was on his way here this afternoon. Not sure if he's made it in time yet.
Boy, really seeing some aggressive swings from these Giants hitters when Shelby does come into the strike zone. Fell behind 2-0 there to Brandon Crawford. Came right down the middle of the plate with a fastball, and Crawford had a home run swing at it, but fouled it off to the third base side.
Shelby came away unscathed in the first. And Crawford homered in the second. Giants got 4 in the third before McCutchen homered in the fourth.
Good cutter that time. Good location up there at the hands. Ran right in on Brandon Crawford. Once again fouls it off to the third base side. He had thrown him straight 4-seam fastballs earlier in the sequence. That one has just a little bit of cutting action into a lefty, enough to get it off the barrel down near the trademark. Crawford fouled it away.
Here's another cutter on the outside half this time, and Shelby gets his 5th strikeout. Really encouraging news from Reno tonight, where A.J. Pollock and Steven Souza Jr. are in the lineup again. They're actually playing at Tacoma. And A.J. is a triple shy of the cycle, 3 for 3 with a homer. And Steven Souza Jr. has tripled twice.
He could sell A.J. one of his triples to get the cycle.
A.J.'s in center.
Reno Aces lead that ball game 13-8 up in Tacoma, where it was 63 degrees at game time.
Nice and cool. Here's Sandoval. And Randall Delgado, who pitched a clean inning yesterday for Reno, is scheduled to pitch 2 innings with the Aces coming up on July 2nd. So Randall's getting awfully close as well. Nice play by Goldie, backing up along the line, and he gets it over to Miller. Well, he made that look easy.
And most first basemen will tell you that is one of the easier plays they'll have. I mean, he backs up to get the good hop, but the throw right down the baseline to the pitcher who's heading right to the base.
Well, Shelby a chance for his first 1-2-3 inning tonight. 2 down, bases empty for Panic. 90 pitches, 59 strikes.
I mentioned the Giants have taken some very aggressive swings against Shelby Miller. There's only been 2 takes for strikes since the 3rd inning. Every time he throws a strike, they are swinging at it. And both the strikes that were taken were Andrew McCutchen. The first pitch of his at bat back in the 3rd inning, and then again in the 4th inning. He took a called strike before getting a base hit in the 3rd and a home run in the 4th.
Does that suggest anything other than they're just aggressive?
It kind of makes you wonder if they might have something on Shelby Miller. Well, just the nature of the swings. I mentioned it during Brandon Crawford's at bat, but we've seen it up and down this lineup. When he does come in the strike zone, they're taking some vicious swings at it, like they know what's coming.
Some confident swings. That one's yanked foul. Another cutter in. Well, I'm sure that this start for Shelby will be analyzed and dissected by the coaching staff. They'll look at the video and go over what may have gone wrong here. But at least in one sense, they're taking a step forward with the pitch count. Shelby 85 pitches in 3 2/3. He's going to get up to just about 100 here tonight. Waves at a high fastball. A 1-2-3-5 for Shelby Miller. D-backs trail the Giants 6-0. Round of 16 continues on Fox. Spain faces off with Russia 6 a.m. Croatia and Denmark. Catch all the action on Fox, streaming live on the Fox Sports app. Some big upsets today. I watched the end of that France match.
Ooh, big upsets.
They send Messi and Argentina packing.
Oui.
Olivier Giroud. John Ryan Murphy. So how's your and then of course Ronaldo's out now because Portugal lost to Uruguay.
I'm still good. I'm good no matter who wins.
Well, it's funny how that's worked out. Revisionist history. So what's your bracket looking like now? Is it all show? This is the nice clean graphic version, and then there's your version which has all these scribbles
Just some
and
minor
changes.
Modifications. That's all. You know, you're allowed to change your mind.
I'm not sure you are actually.
Mid-game,
No, you're
late
not.
in the game, after the game.
So you are right on the money with your predictions.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this year.
Yeah, looks like it. France has played really well. Pogba, Giroud. But you had the potential there for Messi and Ronaldo, two of the world's biggest stars, and now they're both out.
Maybe they're not as big as stars as we thought.
Not anymore. Murphy pops it straight up. Buster Posey. One out for Dyson, who flying out to center his first at bat tonight. Well, the coverage on Fox has been tremendous. The action, the games have been fantastic. I mean, the athleticism at that level is just phenomenal. Guys flying around the field, they're kicking the ball and it's spinning like a slider around defenders and into the net. It's amazing to watch.
That's one of the coolest plays I've seen so far in the World Cup. I can't even remember what team it was. It was just a highlight. There you go.
Dyson
There you
trying to
go.
bunt his way on. Nobody home at first. Belt throws it anyway. Gerard Dyson, a bunt single once a game. Belt just kind of gave up and lobbed one over there. Figured somebody will catch it.
I mean, everything has to be perfect defensively to get Gerard Dyson. When he puts down a bunt like this, you keep it away from the pitcher. You make the first baseman come in and make the play, and there's no way the pitcher or the second baseman is going to outrun Gerard Dyson to the bag.
Well, trying to get back in this one, down 6-0. Christian Walker will hit for Shelby Miller. Christian recalled from AAA Reno yesterday. He is 3 for 18 with the D-backs this year. He struck out as a pinch hitter last night. Walker hits one a mile up in the air, headed near the seats and foul ground, and it's out of play. This is a young man with tremendous power. Last year's Pacific Coast League MVP, hit 32 home runs in Reno. He's got a pinch hit homer this year that went almost 480 feet. Got a fastball and hooked it foul, 0-2. Trying to put something up on the board and at least establish a foothold to try and claw your way back into this one. High fastball. That's how Walker struck out last night. 2 down.
I'm sure somewhere Ivan Rodriguez is playing the role of a proud papa tonight, watching his son pitch. But during his playing career, 21 years, this guy was as good as they get behind the plate. You might get some argument from Johnny Bench fans or Yadier Molina fans, but for my money, Pudge Rodriguez was the best behind the plate. Had a cannon for a throwing arm, loved to show it off. Stole 25 bases one season.
How about that?
296 lifetime hitter. I mean, he did it all. 311 career home runs, 13 gold gloves.
And a plaque in Cooperstown. John Jay 0 for 2. Well, here's his son Derek, who's tried to carve his own major league identity as an outfielder and now a pitcher. Bell collects that one at first. Well, we'll head to the 6th inning. D-backs down 6 runs. Daisy giveaway is happening right now. You can nominate a family or a nonprofit organization that needs a brand new air conditioning system by logging on to chazroberts.com/coolplay. But you got to do it right now. The deadline to submit your nomination ends later tonight, so this is it. Another great job by our friends at Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. That's a terrific program they have going every year. Left-hander TJ McFarland on to start the 6th inning. So TJ in the ball game last night threw 8 pitches, got the final 2 outs in the 9th. Gorkys Hernandez, the center fielder, leads off the Giants' 6th.
Well, TJ McFarland, along with Brad Boxberger, serving double duty tonight. Both guys were down at Dutch Brothers Coffee before the ball game, right soon after the gates opened, and the fans started to collect down there to get their coffee. And
I heard about that.
TJ went behind the counter. He was playing the barista. Brad Boxberger was taking orders in line.
Jake Lamb at third. Now they do a great job at Dutch Brothers. The lines are always long, but they move you through there really fast. And you look down, and there's a guy that walks up with an iPad and says, "What would you like?" If you're, 10th in line. Turns out it was Brad Boxberger.
Yep.
How about that? I'll have a half calf mocha latte calf. The pitcher Rodriguez. Now you see that tattoo? I think that's a Catwoman.
Yeah, it looks like Catwoman
on his forearm. He's got a Catwoman tattoo. Yeah, right there. TJ keeping the ball down as he always does. 0-2. We've talked about unsung heroes with the D-backs all year long, and Daniel Descalso in a way is sort of the offensive unsung hero, but TJ might be the Descalso of the pitching staff. Whatever you need. You final out in the 9th inning. You need 3-4 innings of relief.
Need a matchup lefty.
He's been the guy.
Need a double play ball.
Yeah. Everything is down, down, down.
Hey, D-backs fans, get an Uber credit for any home game in July. Get a $25 credit on any ride to or from Chase Field for up to 4 rides. Just enter promo code DBACSJuly. For more information, visit dbacks.com/Uber.
Here's Alan Hansen, the leadoff man, who is 0 for 3 tonight. He was 0 for 4 last night, after he just clobbered the Diamondbacks almost single-handedly last time we were in San Francisco with all those big pinch hits, 2 doubles and a homer. He's done nothing in this series. Slow roller to first. TJ, a quick 1, 2, 3, 6. D-backs trail at 6-0. The home half of the 6th inning at Chase Field. Game of Thrones night is coming up next Saturday, July 7. You can get a lower level game ticket and our exclusive Ice Dragon bobblehead, all for only $50, or the VIP pack for $65. Limited quantities remain, so you got to send your Ravens quickly. dbacks.com/GOT. Don't scare the folks at home. Look at that. Now that's an exclusive. You can't get that anywhere else. Only here at the ballpark, July 7. Our Ice Dragon bobblehead. Nice work. Goldie 0 for 2 so far. Only guy over there is Brandon Belt. Rodriguez hustles and they get the out. Here's Jake Lamb.
Well, it appears that winter has come for the Diamondbacks offense lately.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Now you're just showing off. We've done some, your staff has done some research on Derek Rodriguez's tattoo. I've been handed some information as our I-team investigates. It's a tattoo of the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman from the 1992 Batman Returns. He's got that on his left arm. There it is. There's Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, which premiered only 11 days after Derek Rodriguez was born. Now, why he's got it is another story, but that's the basic background of it. So there you go. It's a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman tattoo. If I had $1 for every time, I'd probably have $1. You see some interesting tattoos around the big leagues, but that's a new one.
Well, I guess Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman is better than if his favorite movie was Shrek.
Some guys, I can't believe they don't have Shrek on their forearms. Full count, 3-2. Keep hitting it to the one guy who's away from the shift.
Well, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Big crowd here tonight, Saturday night. Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. D-backs opening up a 10-game homestand. Game 2 on the homestand here tonight. There's a strike. One more against the Giants tomorrow. Then the Cardinals are in for 3 Monday. 4 against the Padres starts on Thursday. Well, Derek Rodriguez, only his 7th career major league appearance, is a strike away from 6 scoreless innings.
He's been pretty consistent. Last couple innings, much lower pitch counts, but steadily in the mid-teens.
Yeah, this was a guy who was out of a job after last year. Left the Twins organization. Giants signed him to a minor league deal in November. And he's really helped out. He was 4-1 in 9 starts at AAA Sacramento this year. He had never pitched above AA in his minor league career, but he was 4-1 with Sacramento. And then got called up for his big league debut at the end of May. And he's in line to start off the year with a record of 3-1, leading 6-0 in the 6th. Full count on David, who was doubled twice, 3-2. Missed with a fastball away. Just the second walk issued by Rodriguez. Here comes Descalso.
3 at-bats for David Peralta, 3 times on base, back-to-back doubles. His first 2 at-bats, and now a base on balls. Once again, setting it up for Daniel Descalso.
Descalso's been striking out a whole bunch lately. He's punched out twice tonight. This is a developing trend over the last 10 days or so. Fastball is in there, 0-1. Curveball just hung up there for a bit. 0-2.
Yeah, he almost regrouped in the middle of his swing right there. He kind of saw the pitch up, looked like he was going to take it, and then changed his mind, put a good rip on it, fouled it back.
Descalso hits a high fly ball. McCutchen at the wall, and he's got it. 6 scoreless for the rookie Rodriguez. D-backs trail the Giants. A fireworks spectacular coming up 4th of July here at the ballpark. D-backs and Cardinals starts at 7 o'clock, and then after the game we open up the roof for the biggest and best fireworks spectacular in town, presented by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. All the info you need is at dbacks.com. TJ McFarland back out there. Buster Posey leads it off for the Giants. Remember the D-backs in that series finale in Miami on Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning here. Scored 2 runs in the first and 1 run in the second. They led the Marlins 3-0. They won that game 4-0. But since that 1 run in the second inning in Miami Thursday, D-backs have scored only twice in their last 22 innings. The offense has gone quiet. Last night, 1 run, 7 hits. Tonight, no runs, 5 hits. 2-1 on Posey, who singled twice and scored a run.
And we mentioned 5 of the 7 hits in the ballgame for the D-backs last night, infield hits, and a lot of those came with 2 outs in the inning and nobody on base.
Yeah, your key to the game was get it to the outfield. And we've done that several times tonight, but had some guys throwing out on the bases. That didn't help. McCutchen has singled and homered. He's on deck. 3-1 to Posey. Called strike 3. Fastball right at the knees.
Well, Buster's had a bird's eye view of the strike zone tonight, so he knows that occasionally a pitch that's on the edge or maybe a little bit off the edge, there's a chance it's going to be called a strike.
Bat flip didn't work out too well either.
He needs to take some lessons from Jody.
Jody. Oh yeah, because she can twirl, right?
Oh yeah.
Down there with Kate now watching the game. Webby. I can't believe now that you mentioned that we haven't had Jody do some kind of demonstration for us.
I want to see her with the baton with the flame on each end. You know, spinning that around, throw it in the air.
Yeah, throw the mic up in the air, then spin around, jump up and down, and catch it. All while blindfolded, standing on one leg. Ready, go. She used to do that at the U, right?
Yeah.
Kate's
We're
trying
waiting for you to troll. Show off your skills here.
So you.
This is expensive equipment.
You know, yes, our engineers would not appreciate me throwing the mic around because I used to do that actually, and it's not allowed anymore.
Oh, we break equipment all the time. Yeah, we were just saying, Jody, that based on Buster Posey's failed bat flip, that we should have you do a demonstration.
Maybe we'll try to figure out a safer way to do it than in here. Brandon's scared.
Brandon Webb is suggesting a pen. I mean, I'm surrounded by talent. Webby's ready to pitch in the alumni game, and you're Troy.
That would actually be a nice touch to add to the alumni game as McCutchen singles. Jody could twirl and lead you out as commissioner out onto the field.
There you go.
McCutchen's got his 3rd hit tonight.
I think we ought to keep that under our hats, though. That's something that sounds like MLB would steal that for the All-Star game. You know, have Jody spinning a flaming baton and lead the 2 managers out of the dugout for the meeting at home plate.
Flyer out to D.C. Brandon Belt singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3. Shift is on. Guy to left for Peralta. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink Series finale against the Giants. Zach Godley will start for the D-backs against Derek Holland, proud Ohioan.
Yeah, he's a fellow Buckeye. I had a chance to talk to Derek Holland before the ball game today, and I've mentioned in the past he born and raised in Newark, Ohio, which is Newark, 37 miles from Coshocton.
But the funny, the funny part was when he went up to you and said, "You're from Coshocton."
Yeah.
Like that was the first thing. That was the headline.
Shocked. Yeah. And I asked him, "Have you been to Coshocton?" He said, "Oh yeah, I've been there a few times." But the thing is, Coshocton is farther east of Columbus than Newark. So from Coshocton, you drive through Newark to get to Columbus. So, I drove through Newark a million times, played a lot of ball there, basketball and baseball. But if you live in Newark, there's really no reason to drive east to Coshocton.
Well, just see the sights.
Got a Ohio Erie Canal over in Roscoe Village.
Roscoe Village?
Yeah. It's quite the tourist trap.
Apparently they're staying away. He's a wacko, Derek Holland. He's funny.
Well, that's what his manager Bruce Bochy told me.
Did he?
Yeah. He's out there a little bit. Yeah, 37 miles from Coshocton. That's how far out he is.
That's funny.
Nice stop there by John Ryan. That one kind of climbed up his left arm before hitting his chest protector, but manages to keep it in front anyway. Just get a body part in front of the ball. Well, that actually got him in the chest protector first and then the leg. I misidentified body parts there, but he was able to keep it in front nonetheless. It was a good shot of John Ryan Murphy giving the sign to TJ out on the mound and then immediately looking down to third base coach Ron Wotus. Catchers are always a little paranoid about those base coaches sneaking up there far enough where they can see the sign. So as soon as you give the sign, you look to the third base coach or the first base coach to see if they do anything unusual.
You guys are so paranoid.
With good reason.
Yes. The head is always on a swivel.
It's justified.
2-2 on Crawford.
And sometimes it's a very simple thing. If a base coach can get into a position to steal a catcher's signs, if they just stay standing upright like Ron Wotus is right now, that would indicate perhaps a fastball. But if you see me bend over and put my hands on my knees or do anything other than stand straight up, then it's going to be an off-speed pitch. Well, Wotus isn't even looking in right now, so I think he's safe.
That bounces away from John Ryan. McCutchen stays put. Full count, 3-2.
And corner infielders always listen to the base coaches. Are they whistling after the pitch is called? Are they doing something? Are they yelling a player's first name? Are they yelling his last name? Are they yelling his number? Anything that is a little bit out of the ordinary, and you start paying attention to that, and if you sense a pattern developing, you've got to go out there and talk to your pitcher and catcher and your pitching coach and change the signs.
Was it Ozzie Guillen that used to do that with bird calls when he was out there?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
McCutchen was running on the pitch, fouled away by Crawford. Here's Ron Wotus at third. Looks innocent enough. McCutchen off with a pitch. Crawford hits it into the shift. Descalso smothers it. And they retire Crawford. We stretch at Chase Field. D-backs trail the Giants 6-0.
Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Cool play of the game. Trying to beat that shift. Brandon Crawford hits a hard topspin ground ball. Nice diving stop by Daniel Descalso. Gets to his knees and throws him out at first base.
D-backs have been out hit 10-5. They trail at 6-0. Ketel Marte leads off the bottom of the 7th against rookie right-hander Derek Rodriguez, who has done a tremendous job here tonight. Just his 6th career major league start. Pretty good fastball right there, but didn't get the call. It's 2-0. Rodriguez has walked 2. He struck out 4. Fastball curveball combo has worked out really well for him. 2-2. Bullpen busy for the D-backs. Pitcher spot would be due up 4th in this inning. Crawford at shortstop. Marte is injured and down. Ketel Marte hobbling up the line, grabbing the back of his right leg, and he wasn't able to stop himself and fell over. Here comes Ryan DePanfilo. He grabbed the back of his hamstring before he hit the bag. Right about here. And then just not able to stop himself, basically on 1 foot.
Man.
And Marte is up and limping off the field. Well, hopefully just a cramp. You look at some of the names that the Diamondbacks have been without for, in some cases, the majority of this season. It's amazing that they're leading this division. Guys like Pollock and Souza and Lamb and Miller and Ray have all missed significant time. But hopefully Ketel will be all right. Well, Nick Ahmed, who had the night off, will come in and run for Marte and presumably take over at shortstop. Leadoff man aboard in the 7th. John Ryan Murphy 1 for 2. Bullpen is busy for the Giants with Rodriguez approaching 100 pitches for the ball game. And nobody out here in the 7th. Missed with a cutter. High block, the left-hander. Corey Guerin, the right-hander. He and Rodriguez go to the same stylist. Got that fastball in. 2-1. Diamondback bullpen busy as well. Jimmy Sherfy did make it here in time. He's warming up right now. Recalled from Reno earlier today. Devin Marrero on the DL with a left oblique strain. Rodriguez starting to mix in more cutters here, third time through the order. About to throw 100 pitches in the ball game. Dyson on deck. 2-2 on John Ryan Murphy.
This should be the big curveball.
Missed upstairs. 100 pitches, a career high for the rookie Derek Rodriguez. 66 strikes. He's walked 2, he struck out 4. Went back to the cutter. Got him with a fastball in.
Hey, we want to take you back to that Ketel Marte at bat and show you something behind the plate with Buster Posey. Watch this pitch, how he chases it out of the strike zone. That pitch was actually on the corner of the plate, but because of the movement, he chased it right out of the strike zone. They don't get the call. This was the very next pitch, almost exactly the same location, but because he was able to hold his glove there on the outside corner, they got the call.
Well, that's going to do it for the rookie Rodriguez, who pitched a terrific ball game here tonight. He leaves in the 7th with a 6-0 lead. Back after this. Replaced by the left-hander Ty Blach. Giants, with all their injuries in the rotation, had plenty of guys get a chance, and Blach was one of them. But it didn't quite work out for him. He moved to the bullpen at the end of May after he was 3-5 in a dozen starts with an ERA near 5. Dyson is the hitter. Owings is out in the on-deck circle, ready to bat for the pitcher McFarland. Sandoval in on the grass at third. Dyson had a bunt single for a base hit his last time up, but now he's down 0-2.
Oh, emergency swing. If he would have swung any later, he would have hit the throwback from Buster Posey back to the mound. Right out of his glove.
Reaction from Zoom there. This is popped up behind second. Panic backing up out there. And now Owings will hit for TJ McFarland.
Pitching for TJ McFarland, number 16, Chris.
CO 196 and 3 homers. Bat started to come around. He had a couple of hits last night. He hit safely in 3 straight games and 4 of 5. He's got Ahmed at first, running for Marte, who left with an apparent injury. There's a slow breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1. CO 2 for 12 as a pinch hitter this year.
You mentioned Gerard Dyson bunt base hit back in the 5th, and the Ketel Marte infield hit leading off this inning here. 2 of the 6 hits tonight have been infield hits after 5 of 7 last night.
The offense has gone ice cold here. Block bouncing a changeup up there. 1-2. Ahmed down at first. No information as of yet on the condition of Ketel Marte. If we get it, we'll pass it along to you. CO. It's a little flare out to Panic. We're through 7. D-backs trail at 6-0. In Spanish on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock, presented by your Valley Honda dealers. The great Oscar Soria and Rodrigo Lopez have the broadcast for you, streaming live also on Fox Sports Go. You can find your Plus channel listings and the 25-game Spanish broadcast schedule at foxsportsarizona.com. Jimmy Sherfy just called up today. Devin Marrero went on the DL with an oblique strain. So here's Sherfy, who's been back and forth from Reno a couple of times in the last few days.
Has not allowed a run in his first 14 career games. That's tied for the 4th longest streak in D-backs history to start a career.
Pablo Sandoval will lead it off. Jimmy Sherfy, great dude. Nick Ahmed is indeed in there at shortstop for the injured Ketel Marte. Jimmy Sherfy, very effective down the stretch for the D-backs last year. Made the postseason roster, in fact, he was so effective. Ahmed, sure enough, new guy. First ball to him, backhand, and a perfect throw. Amazing how often that happens. Yeah, Jimmy last year, Jimmy was good. 2-0, 2 saves, and as you mentioned, a 0 ERA, and made a couple of appearances against the Dodgers in the division series last October.
And as you said a moment ago, above and beyond all that, he's a good dude.
We're efforting that.
Great dude.
Great dude. Let's go Panic. Panic hits it hard out to right. And there's a run. Joe Panic, that's his 4th, make it 7-0 Giants. And now Jimmy Sherfy has a major league ERA. Boy, that was a bullet.
It sure was. That's one of the harder hit balls we've seen in a while. Middle of the plate fastball. Joe Panic, who's been struggling offensively, skips it off the top of the fence and then off the back wall.
And back over.
108 miles an hour off the bat.
His 4th of the year. Corquez Hernandez. Well, you see him sometimes just barely clear the wall. A little odd to see it skip off the top of the wall. Good velocity from Sherfy. He's a little dude, but he's a hard thrower. 96. Former closer for the Oregon Ducks in college, where they called him Wild Thing before he found some command. Good breaking ball. First strikeout for Sherfy, 2 down. Now Ty Block will hit with the Giants up 7-0. The pitcher for the Giants.
Pitcher, Ty Block.
Well, you know what's refreshing for me about Jimmy Sherfy? We see a lot of relief pitchers that have setups that go in stages. They shake their glove, they tap their foot, they nod their head, they bend over at the waist. Jimmy just puts his hand in the glove, let's go.
He attacks you with that hard fastball. That's one of the things that Torrey really likes about Jimmy Sherfy. He's known Jimmy since he was a kid, actually. Is that he's got no fear out there. Run him out there, he's fine. He's got a very low heartbeat. Not afraid to get the ball in big spots. And that hard fastball is a big reason why. 2 strikeouts, but Panic's homer makes it 7-0 San Francisco.
contest here. D-backs do have the top of the order up, maybe get some runs on the board here. But Shelby Miller, we hoped it would be a progression tonight.
Right.
And what was it for you, Brendan? A step back or a step forward?
I mean, there's some pluses. He did get, 5 innings. He got up and down 5 times. He got almost 100 pitches, 96 tonight. You take the positive in that. The location was very off tonight, though.
All right, we'll continue to break it down in the post-game show and hopefully maybe have some information on Ketel Marte as well, guys.
Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, a rough third inning certainly for Shelby. Gave up 4 runs in that inning. Giants now lead at 7-0. John Jay leads off the 8th against Ty Block. Jay is 0 for 3. And right now stuck at an 0 for 25 over his last 7 games. Well, John Jay 0 for 4. First strikeout for Block. Here comes Goldie.
Block with a shorter, sharper breaking ball that time. Has that big loopy curveball that he'll use to start sequences, and then a harder breaking ball he'll throw to put hitters away.
Brandon Belt, the only Giant defender on the right-hand side of the infield against Goldie.
And that's right where he hit it back in the 6th inning. One defender on the right side of the field, and Goldie hit the ball right to him.
It's interesting. We focus so much on the overshift on where the other 3 guys are. You forgot you got to put the one guy by himself in the right spot too. He's that far off the bank for a reason.
And it goes without saying, with this kind of a pull shift on for a right-handed hitter and Brandon Belt playing halfway between first and second, any ball hit to that right side, the pitcher has to get over and cover the bag.
There's the changeup. Block opens up with a couple of strikeouts, 2 down in the 8th. Jake Lamb now. Well, Jake has walked. Struck out, grounded out 0 for 2. He's got an 8-game hit streak on the line right here. D-backs only 6 hits in the ball game. Half of those came in the first 2 innings. Dodgers have already lost. Rockies won in LA 3-1. Padres have a 4-1 lead over the Pirates at Petco Park. They're in the 8th. Up the middle, there's Crawford. We hit the 9th. D-backs trail at 7-0. on TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's brought to you locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app, take Fox Sports Arizona, and your D-backs with you wherever you go. Alan Hansen, the left fielder, leads off the Giant ninth. Hansen is 0 for 4 tonight, 0 for 8 in the series. Wasn't Hansen a boy band back in the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, yeah. I think 3 brothers, maybe. The Hansons. Though that was the hockey guys.
Descalso at second. Iron League. Eddie Shore, old time hockey. Here's Buster Posey, 2 for 4.
They had that big hit, Bop. Everybody remembers that one.
Bop. Yeah.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Well, June was a tremendous month, but it's not ending well for the D-backs. The offense has gone quiet. July starts tomorrow. Posey's got his 3rd hit tonight.
Shoulder high fastball. Buster Posey apparently went to the plate looking for a heater. That's the only way you can tomahawk that ball into left field.
Big day for McCutchen. He's singled twice and homered. I'm a little concerned actually that you were able to pull the Hansons Bop song.
Well, I mean, Isaac Taylor and Zach were one of my favorites.
All right, what's going on over there? Sliders to strike, 1-1.
I had kids that were of that age when Hansen was big, so
that hurts.
I had to listen to it.
Long run for Mark Hicks. Jake Lamb's going to have to get that one. The Hick Dog, a Golden Glover down the left field line. That's a little out of his range. We've got bookend marks. The Hick Dog, Mark Hicks in left field, and the Mark Strawberry Field working right field line tonight. Popped up. Foul ground for Lamb, third base side.
Yeah, you mentioned McCutcheon's had a good night for the Giants. 3 hits, including a long home run to right field. Jimmy Sherfy's not going to give him a fastball. Slider, 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 change up in the dirt, and then comes back with a slider to get that pop up to third base. Our nationwide vision high on the game.
Brandon Belt. Belt singled and scored in that 4-run Giants third against Shelby Miller. Apparently there's been some turmoil regarding the Golden Glover nickname. Toby, who is the nickname commissioner, the nickname czar, is considering changing Mark Field's nickname from Strawberry to Mark Field of Dreams, which is good work by Toby because it's obviously baseball themed. And if we can fast track that to the top, there is a Mark Field of Dreams. Thing like that, if your nickname czar like Toby is, you can't just let that go. You got to step in.
You know, and most times you'd have to call a committee meeting and take it under advisement and clear it with other people. Not with Toby. He just says what it is, and that's what it is.
Nobody argues with him. Otherwise, we don't have a center field camera shot. 2-1. There's that Sherfy slider. 3 balls and a strike. Belt is a disciplined hitter. He rarely chases outside the strike zone. Single and a walk here in the 9th. Crawford's going to get another shot.
Well, this has to be an unexpected treat for Bruce Bochy and his staff over in that first base dugout. The Giants, each of their last 5 games have been decided by 1 run, and 17 of their last 23 games by 2 or fewer.
Yeah, they've kind of earned it, I guess, in that regard. Well, yeah.
Just let him swing away.
Crawford homered in the 2nd. There's the Sherfy changeup, sort of fading away from the left-hander. Posey is at 2nd and Belt at 1st. 2 outs. Hard changeup that time from Jimmy. I don't know if you saw the news. Big day here tomorrow. Literally and figuratively, as DeAndre Ayton is going to be here to throw out the first pitch.
Yeah, I did see that.
He'll be on the pregame show tomorrow. 12:30. First overall pick in the NBA draft. Newest Phoenix Sun, DeAndre Ayton, throwing out the first pitch. So check out D-backs live pregame show at 12:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Arizona. We'll have live coverage of that one. And they'll talk to the newest Sun. They're going to be fun to watch now. Of course, apparently everyone is consumed with the LeBron James's free agency. Where's LeBron going to go? LeBron. I know you've been talking to your NBA sources about that.
Yeah.
No?
When I have a moment away from my World Cup duties.
No leads? Well, you got a lot of responsibilities. I'd like to see him go to the Lakers, and that way LeVar Ball could get somehow involved with LeBron, and then the whole thing would just explode. That would just be a circus of epic proportion.
Boy, there's nothing Suns fans would like better than to see the Lakers turn into a laughingstock.
Exactly. That's kind of where I was going.
Yeah.
Jimmy's missing here. Hard changeup, 89-90. Full count on Crawford, 3-2 after he lost Belt. Runners on the move. That's fouled off. Boy, see what Michael Brenly's Red Sox did to the Yankees today at Yankee Stadium, 11-0.
Payback. It was ugly the other way last night. CC Sabathia was dealing.
Quite a race between those two in the AL East. Runners on the move again. And now that's another walk, back-to-back 2-out walks, and Sherfy's loaded the bases for the Panda. Sandoval had a 2-run single in that 4-run Giant third. Here's Mike Butcher.
Looks like Jimmy's gotten away from his fastball a little bit here in this inning, throwing a lot of sliders, a lot of those hard change-ups.
Well, I mentioned earlier, D-backs 3.5 up, now 4 on the Dodgers for the moment. Ian Desmond in L.A. off Kenta Maeda, and the Rockies get a 3-1 win in L.A. So for the moment, the D-backs edge over the Dodgers is 4 as they pick up a half game, but that's likely going to drop unless something changes here. Giants 4.5 back. They'll gain a game. And Colorado with the win today gets almost at 500, just 1 below. Padres are playing right now. They lead the Pirates 4-2 in San Diego in the 9th. So here we go. 2 outs, bases full for Sandoval, who is 1 for 4, a 2-run single in the 3rd. Mentioned that Red Sox game, big numbers all over the Major League scoreboard today. The Braves aren't going away. They beat the Cardinals 11-4. The Reds beat up on the Brewers 12-2. And that crazy game at Wrigley, the Cubs beat the Twins 14-9. They played in a 110-degree heat index, and guys in that game were dropping like flies.
Yeah, the Twins lost 3 players to the heat today.
So some big numbers all over. Texas 13-4 over the White Sox. Here it's 7-0 Giants. Just one of those days. I'm impressed by Atlanta, man. They're hanging in there. They've been leading from the wire in the NL East. This is lifted in the air, pretty deep right center. Jay calling for it, and he's got it. Bottom 9 on the way. D-backs trail at 7-0.
Didn't go his way tonight. Gave up 9 hits in the ball game to the Giants. 6 of them came on his 4-seam fastball, 2 on his cut fastball, and the home run to Brandon Crawford that you just saw a moment ago came on a big curveball. Some of them seeing eye hits, some of them struck extremely well. Just didn't seem to be able to command his fastball on the edges. Made a lot of mistakes in the middle of the plate tonight.
Our Gila River game summary. The Crawford homer in the second, then 4 runs in the third. The McCutcheon homer in the fourth. It was 6-0 Giants. Panic homered off Sherfy in the eighth at 7-0. And now Corey Guerin is on to start the bottom of the ninth. Guerin has not pitched a whole lot lately, only once in fact in their last 16 games. David Peralta, who has doubled twice in walk, leads it off for the D-backs. Webby standing by with Jody. They'll break down Shelby Miller's night. D-backs live post-game show coming up. And we'll hopefully have some news on Ketel Marte, who had to leave with what looked to be a hamstring injury. Hopefully just a cramp running up the first base line. That was in the 7th inning.
I know that's what I'm rooting for, a cramp.
Yeah.
Those will go away.
Trying to beat out an infield hit. Grabbed the back of his right leg as he approached first base and then fell over. Well, there was certainly good news from Tacoma, Washington tonight, where the Reno Aces were playing. Both A.J. Pollock and Steven Souza Jr. had big nights offensively, as those guys are getting closer and closer to coming back. David hits a fly ball to left field for Hansen. A.J. was playing center field, wound up a triple shy of the cycle, and Souza had 2 triples. So a good night down on the farm for A.J. and Steven.
I can just hear that phone call between A.J. Pollock and his skipper Troy Lavello tonight. I'm ready.
Oh, I think they had that before he even went to Reno.
Yeah, probably so.
Knowing A.J. That's really, really encouraging coming off that thumb fracture. Here's Descalso 0 for 3. And Souza, not only is he hitting, he's been cleared to start throwing from 120 feet. That's the final big hurdle in coming back from that pectoral strain. So the injury news continues to improve. Hopefully it'll be good on Ketel Marte.
Well, the D-backs could certainly use some kind of a shot in the arm offensively, whether it comes from within or guys returning from injury or maybe help from outside at the trade deadline. Got to find a way to get this offense going more consistently.
Descalso not happy with Chad Whitson's strike call there. Daniels already struck out twice tonight. Make it 3 times. Descalso 0 for 4, 2 down.
Cut fastball working its way back toward that outside corner. Just too close to take for Daniel Descalso. Comes up empty for the 3rd time tonight.
First at bat tonight for Nick Ahmed, who came on as a pinch runner when Marte was injured and had to leave the ball game. That was back in the 7th inning. Nick hitting .218. He's got 10 home runs. Series finale here tomorrow. Got to get this offense going. Zach Godley on the mound for the D-backs. Derek Holland for the Giants, the left-hander. D-backs have scored only 2 runs in their last 25 innings. Well, the upside is for the second night in a row, the D-backs will lose on the same night the Dodgers lost, so they'll stay at 3.5 up. But the Giants continue to gain ground. The Rockies pick up some ground as things get bunched even tighter in that National League West.
Yeah, with 3 against the Giants at the beginning of this homestand and 4 against the Padres at the end, we said it's time to make a move in the division. Put some ground between yourself and the rest of those guys.
There's a base hit for Nick.
Tailing fastball working its way back to the middle of the plate. Nick's all over it, bangs it past Sandoval down there at third base into left field. Been a while.
Now just 7 hits for the Diamondbacks. John Ryan Murphy singled in the second. He's 1 for 3. Sliders a strike, 0-1. Oh, 2. Sticks with a slider against the strikeout, and the Giants get the win. They shut out the Diamondbacks 7-0. Just the 4th time this year the D-backs have been blanked, and the 1st time since May 26th.
Gotta find a way to get the offense going. I mean, it's easier said than done. Some good pitching tonight from the Giants, especially the starter Derek Rodriguez. Ty Block and Corey Guerin come in and slam the door on the Diamondbacks once again.
And a struggle for Shelby Miller in his 2nd start back from Tommy John surgery. For more on that, Webby is standing by with Jody.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. A lot to get to here during Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink, our post-game show. It's coming up. I think Bob hit on it there, too. Quality pitching. I know you were impressed from what the Giants had out there tonight. You know, we know they came into this series with a 2.87 ERA in June, which was a drastic difference from May. It was over 5. And so they're in a groove right now, pitching-wise. Got to find a way tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, they totally are. You know, we ran into Andrew Suarez last night. Today, Derek Rodriguez, not household names, but these guys were very, very good. All 4 pitches there. I like them.
Well, coming up, we'll preview tomorrow's matchup, but we'll also look back at tonight. We hope to have more info on Ketel Marte and his status as he left the game with an apparent leg injury. But Brandon Webb, Bob Brenly will take a closer look at Shelby Miller's outing, his 2nd since returning from Tommy John surgery. And we'll take a closer look at what the Giants were able to do to the Diamondbacks offensively. It's all coming your way next.